Welcome to Psych Secrets, where we break down the hidden psychology behind success, motivation, and human behavior. If you've ever felt ambitious but stuck, full of ideas but unable to take action, this video will change the way you see your mind. For years, psychology has given us powerful insights into why some people achieve greatness, while others struggle with procrastination and self-doubt. Today, we're diving deep into why ambition alone isn't enough, and how you can train your brain to take action, stay consistent, and break free from the cycle of inaction. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what's been holding you back, but also have the tools to rewire your habits and build unstoppable momentum. So stay with me, because this might be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Why ambition alone is not enough. The psychology of taking action. You have goals. Maybe you want to start a business, write a book, or get in the best shape of your life. You feel inspired, you make plans, and you tell yourself that this time you will follow through. But when it's time to take action, something happens. Instead of working, you get lost in social media. Instead of exercising, you convince yourself that tomorrow is a better day to start. Instead of sitting down to write, you suddenly remember that the kitchen needs cleaning. Then the guilt sets in. You start questioning yourself. Why can't I just get started? Am I just lazy? Do I even have what it takes? The truth? You are not lazy. You are stuck in a psychological trap. Your brain is not working against you. It is trying to protect you. But in doing so, it keeps you locked in procrastination. The good news? You can rewire these habits and take control. Let's break down the science behind procrastination and the exact steps to escape it. Scientific study. Why your brain avoids hard tasks. The energy conservation instinct. Your brain's #1 priority is survival. It is wired to conserve energy and avoid unnecessary discomfort. Scientific study. Researchers at the University of Michigan found that people tend to overestimate how difficult or unpleasant a task will be. Once they actually start, however, they find that it's far easier than they expected. This means you don't avoid work because it's hard. You avoid it because your brain thinks it will be harder than it actually is. The hardest part is not the work itself, it's starting. Folklore example, the farmer's first step. An old Japanese story tells of a farmer who looked at his massive overgrown field and felt overwhelmed. His mentor told him, just clear 1 square foot. He did. He cleared another. Within months, he had cleared the entire field. This principle, starting small and letting momentum build, is the secret to overcoming procrastination. The motivation myth. Why waiting to feel inspired fails. Most people believe that motivation comes first and action follows. In reality, the opposite is true. Scientific study. Stanford University research shows that motivation follows action, not the other way around. This means you don't start working because you feel motivated. You feel motivated because you start working. Example, you tell yourself, I don't feel like exercising. But if you start with just 2 minutes of movement, you suddenly feel more motivated to continue. You say, I don't feel like writing, but after 1 sentence, you find yourself wanting to write more. Action creates momentum. The secret? Start before you feel ready. Why big goals feel overwhelming and how to fix it. The bigger the goal, the harder it is to start. I want to write a book. Feels impossible. I want to get in shape. Feels exhausting. I want to launch a business. Feels overwhelming. Your brain sees huge tasks and freezes. Solution: break it down into tiny, manageable steps. Scientific study. A 2016 Stanford experiment found that people who started with micro actions, like flossing 1 tooth instead of all their teeth, were far more likely to build long-term habits. Practical examples. Instead of writing a book, just write 1 sentence today. Instead of running 5 miles, just put on your running shoes and step outside. Instead of cleaning your entire house, just clean one corner. This removes the mental resistance that stops you from starting, the psychological barriers that keep you stuck. Now that you understand why motivation follows action and how small steps create momentum, let's dive deeper into the hidden psychological forces that hold you back and how to outsmart them. Many people assume that lack of willpower is the reason they procrastinate. But science suggests that procrastination is not a sign of laziness. It is a defense mechanism. It is your brain trying to protect you from discomfort, failure, or uncertainty. Here are 3 key psychological barriers that keep you stuck and how to overcome them. Fear of failure, why you avoid what matters most. Psychological insight, the brain treats failure as a social threat. Evolutionarily, rejection meant exclusion from the tribe, which could be deadly. Today, failure isn't life-threatening, but your brain still reacts as if it is. This is why people often avoid even starting something that truly matters to them. The more meaningful a goal is, the scarier failure feels. Real-life example, the Picasso experiment. Pablo Picasso produced over 50,000 works of art, but only a small percentage became famous. His secret? He never let fear of failure stop him from creating. A study by psychologist Dean Simonton found that the most successful creatives also produced the most failures. They simply made so much that failure was inevitable, but so was success. How to overcome it? Reframe failure as feedback. Instead of fearing mistakes, see them as necessary steps toward improvement. Detach from perfectionism. Your first attempts will not be perfect, and they don't need to be. Challenge. If you've been putting something off, do it badly on purpose. The goal is not perfection, it is progress. The identity trap. This is just who I am. Psychological insight. People tend to over-identify with their habits. If you believe I'm just not a disciplined person, you unconsciously act in ways that confirm this belief. This is called self-fulfilling prophecy. Your actions align with the identity you believe about yourself. Real-life example. The Stanford Prison Experiment, psychologist Philip Zimbardo's famous 1971 study, showed how quickly people adopt new identities based on expectations. Participants were randomly assigned to be guards or prisoners. Within days, they fully became their roles, even acting cruelly or submissively. This proves that behavior follows identity. If you change how you see yourself, you change how you act. How to overcome it? Shift your identity through small wins. Instead of saying, I'm bad at discipline, say, I'm becoming someone who takes action. Prove it to yourself with tiny actions. If you want to be a writer, write 1 sentence today. If you want to be fit, do 1 push-up. Challenge, choose 1 identity shift today. Instead of saying, I wish I was productive, say, I am the type of person who takes action. Then prove it with a small action. Instant gratification, the silent dream killer. Psychological insight, the brain is wired for immediate rewards. Your ancestors needed quick feeding, avoiding danger, or finding warmth. This is why long-term goals feel difficult. Modern distractions like social media, junk food, and entertainment hijack this system, making dopamine-driven rewards too easy. Real-life example, the marshmallow experiment. In the 1960s, psychologist Walter Mischel tested children's ability to delay gratification. Kids were given 1 marshmallow and told they could have 2 if they waited 15 minutes. Years later, follow-up studies found that kids who waited longer achieved higher SAT scores, had better health, and were more successful in life. This proves that delaying gratification is a key predictor of success. How to overcome it? Reduce friction for good habits. Make important tasks easy to start. Example, want to write? Leave your notebook open. Want to work out? Lay out your gym clothes. Increase friction for distractions. Make bad habits harder. Example, want to stop scrolling? Delete social media apps or use website blockers. Challenge, identify 1 distraction that steals your time. Make it harder to access today. The 1% rule. Why small daily improvements create massive results. Now that you understand the psychological barriers to action, let's talk about the easiest way to beat them, the 1% rule. Scientific insight. If you improve just 1% every day, you will be 37 times better by the end of a year. Folklore example, the stonecutter's lesson. A stonecutter strikes a rock 100 times with no visible change, but on the 101st strike, the rock breaks. Did that final strike make all the difference? No, it was the accumulation of every small strike before it. Success works the same way. Every small effort adds up, even when you don't see results immediately. How to use it. Forget big leaps. Just focus on improving 1% every day. Track progress. Seeing small improvements motivates your brain to keep going. Challenge. Choose one small habit today that will make you 1% better. Stick to it for 1 week. The secret to long-term success, compound growth. Most people quit before they see results because they don't understand how progress works. At first, you see nothing. Then progress accelerates. Then it explodes. This is called the compounding effect. Scientific study. A Harvard Business Review study found that people overestimate short-term results but underestimate long-term impact. Real-life example, Warren Buffett's wealth. At age 30, he had $1 million. At age 50, he had $376 million. At age 90, he had $100 billion. 90% of his wealth came after age 60 because compound growth is slow at first, then exponential. What this means for you. Your first efforts won't show instant success, but don't stop. The real breakthroughs come from consistency over time. Challenge. Stick with something longer than you think necessary. Your success is coming, it just takes persistence. How to trick your brain into taking action. Step 1. Use the 2-minute rule. If something feels overwhelming, commit to just 2 minutes. Want to read? Read 1 page. Want to write? Write 1 sentence. Want to clean? Organize for 2 minutes. Once you start, momentum takes over. Your brain naturally wants to finish what it starts. Scientific insight. This follows Newton's first law. An object in motion stays in motion. The hardest part is starting. Step 2. Create an easy system. Most people fail because they rely on willpower, and willpower runs out. Instead, build automatic habits by linking new behaviors to existing ones. Example, after brushing your teeth, do 1 push-up. After drinking coffee, read 1 paragraph. After waking up, write 1 sentence. Scientific study. Neuroscientists at MIT found that habit formation is strongest when linked to an existing routine. Real-life example. Best-selling author Stephen King writes 6 pages every morning, not when he feels inspired, but because it's part of his daily system. Step 3. Make success easier than failure. Your environment shapes your behavior. Make good choices the default choice. Want to stop wasting time on your phone? Put it in another room. Want to eat healthier? Keep healthy snacks in sight. Want to work out? Lay out your gym clothes the night before. Scientific study. A Cornell University study found that people ate 30% more fruit when it was placed in a visible location. Folklore example, the samurai's sword. Samurai warriors slept with their swords next to them to ensure they were always prepared. If something is important, make it easy to access. Step 4, reward yourself for taking action. Your brain loves rewards. Every time you complete a task, no matter how small, celebrate it. After writing a sentence, listen to your favorite song. After exercising, enjoy a smoothie. After reading a page, take a short break. Scientific insight. Dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, reinforces behaviors. The more enjoyable a habit feels, the more likely you are to repeat it. Real-life example. Best-selling author James Clear used habit tracking, putting an X on a calendar every day he wrote. Seeing the streak build motivated him to keep going. Final thought. Small steps create big changes. Big success is built on small, consistent actions. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to feel motivated every day. You just need to start and keep going. Scientific insight, the 1% rule. If you improve by just 1% every day, you will be 37 times better by the end of the year. Folklore example, the bamboo tree lesson. A bamboo tree spends years growing underground before shooting up 80 feet in months. Your work today isn't wasted, it's building momentum. Squirk the scrump. Your next step, take action now. Instead of just reading this and thinking that was useful, commit to one small action right now. Comment below. What is one tiny step you'll take today? Challenge. Try the 2-minute rule for something you've been putting off. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Your future self is waiting. Take the first step.